everybody, and welcome to the show. This is the podcast for our family's true tales of the supernatural. Once again, I'd like to answer some questions that some people might have about the show. Here's our first question to start the show off with. What would you recommend for children who have problems seeing ghosts or being bothered by ghosts because they have psychic abilities? Well, there's a few things that can help. I believe that some abilities can get triggered by an excessive psychokinetic power buildup in the brain, which is usually brought on by stress, anxiety, and depression. The excessive amount of energy can be counteracted, in my opinion. And here's some ways to counteract some of the excess energy. 1. If you have serious anxiety or depression, I'd recommend going to a psychologist to get counseling. You might even try to find a therapist who specializes in this field of expertise. See if they can help lower your anxiety or help you deal with depression so neither of those things become a big problem or continue to cause problems. Those who specialize in this field might be able to give more advice on how to deal with these abilities as well. The second thing is meditate at least once a week, because that helps lower the stress level and decrease the excessive power generated from the brain. And the third thing is you can do some grounding by putting your bare feet on the ground, which I'm talking about putting your feet right on the dirt and the grass, and do this for at least a few seconds, at least 2 to 5 seconds. Just hold your feet there on the ground. This type of grounding gets rid of some of the excess power as well. It usually decreases my excess energy for a few weeks, if not a few months. The fourth thing is you can also do some sage smudging to push the spirits away if it's an extreme problem. This might only last a week in some of the absolute worst cases, though. And you should also remember that you might be pushing away spirits that might be kind or protective, or spirits that might have only wanted to visit because they were feeling nostalgic. So I would keep that to a minimum and only use it if it's absolutely necessary. Because some spirits only might want to visit their old familiar neighborhoods or places that they like to hang out. So you don't need to be aggressive against them, and you don't need to be aggressive with your use of sage. You can tell them to leave you alone for a while so you can sleep at night and do your homework, or have the kids do their homework, or do their chores around the house. So I think it's good to set up boundaries like that too. I also do sage smudgings on myself to get the smoke on me, which usually keeps things away from a person personally. So that really helps me sometimes too. Another thing you could do is just remember it's a good idea to, like I said, set up those boundaries and keep the spirits from that might be lingering around you from becoming too much of a problem or an annoyance. Tell them that they aren't allowed to hurt you or bother you at night while you're trying to sleep. And another thing I'd recommend is watching the TV show Psychic Kids. It's currently free to watch on YouTube, so it's easy to get to it and watch the episodes. You can find a lot of good advice from a lot of the people on that show, and some of the advice that they give has helped me on occasion as well. Let's see our next question here. Do you still experience any paranormal activity in your house? Well, yes, sometimes I still do. A couple of weeks ago, a family member saw a ball of light float around in their bedroom, around the head of their bed. It stayed at the head of the bed for a few minutes and then faded away. At least I think that's what they were telling me the other day when they told me about it. I would also add that I tried some grounding at the end of 2023, and it calmed down the activity quite a bit. It didn't stop 100% of it, but I'd say I'm only experiencing about 10% of what I was experiencing over the last couple of years. So I do still have a few things happening, but it's not as much. But then again, sometimes these things run in cycles. They can be very active for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden 90 to 99% of it goes away, and it won't start back up till several years later. So sometimes you can have things like that as well. Let's look at our next question. What video editor do you use to make your videos, and what other software do you use? Well, the video editing software I use is called OpenShot, and anyone can get it with a free download on the internet. You can just look for it on your favorite search engine you like to use. The software I use to do computer animations is called Game Guru Classic. It's software for making small computer games. You could also use whatever game making software is easy for you to use if you already have another one that's free, like Unity or Unreal or any other software you prefer to use. I like the Game Guru Classic because it's one of the easiest to use in my personal opinion. I haven't been able to figure out how to make a big computer game with it, and that's why I don't run a PC game company. I'm not good at writing the scripts to get the games to do special stuff for the game, so that's why I'm doing this, and I don't have a computer game company. I also make my videos with partially with Zoom internet call software, and I made an avatar character to conceal my face and my identity with that. This way I can talk and the avatar has its mouth move while I talk. Zoom also has a button to click on so I can record myself so I can narrate my own videos. I also use another avatar for my podcast. I made that with the Animaker website. I think it's by Animaze. It's called animaze.readyplayer.me. You can look that up on the internet too, on any search engine probably. I use Animaze to make my podcast videos, and I run it through OBS Studio to record it. I'm also constantly learning techniques and ways of improving the quality of my videos and editing, so I'm always trying to make the show better. I also use another piece of software called DaVinci Resolve to make my credit roll for the episodes of my show. I can't get newer versions to work on my computer, so I use an older version. And it's a bit difficult sometimes to learn some of the techniques, so I do most of my editing with OpenShot. But if you ever need to get some tutorial videos for any of those software, there's usually some on, if you like the videos, you can go to YouTube. YouTube usually has stuff like that. I also make my computer game characters with another piece of software called Fuse. I then take the character and rig them on the Mixamo website to get them rigged. Then I process them to get them to work in my Game Guru software. It takes me a while to build a scene to put the characters into. It's kind of like building a movie set with a short piece of equipment and for the room and furniture and all the accessories to put in the room. It takes a while, but it's the only way I can put together good sets and get the graphics to look good so I can show what happens with some of the paranormal activity I've seen. Let's see, I think that's most of the software that I use. Some of the software like, let's see, which one? I think DaVinci Resolve is free, and I think OpenShot is free. The Fuse software is free, and you can use that on the Mixamo website for free as well. Let's see, do we have any others? Nope, that looks like that's about all the questions that we have time for this week. So I think that's about all, and I guess I'll be getting back to making my next video so I can get that out soon. If any of you folks have any other reasonable questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comments section below. And help us out by clicking the like button. It helps the algorithm so more people can get a chance to watch the show. I think this is all we have time for this week, so I'll end the show here and get back to making my next video. I'll see you later. Bye.